Hello, everybody. I hope you're enjoying yourself and loving who you are. We sometimes are getting torn in 2 directions, 3 directions, 4 directions, 10 directions because of what's taking place within ourselves, with the world around us, with the stars above us, with the energies that we have consumed from other people of those auric fields, or the energy of the consumption of food that we've put into our body. These are all different forms of intelligences. And one or all or whatever the case may be, they can be pulling us in all types of directions. We have to become more aware of these situations and when they're taking place, and we have to acknowledge what is starting to pull on us, what's trying to take us into a different direction. And this direction that it's taking us, is it good or is it bad? We have to be able to discern these energies. We have to discern what these tensions are. And the best thing that we can do when we're feeling especially multiple different pullings taking place, try rooting yourself more so. Ground yourself. Whatever your practice is, to ground yourself. Could be going for a run, could be a walk through the woods, could be journaling, could be singing, could be dancing, could be whatever it is. Whatever your grounding practice is, which also can change depending on what the pulls are. You have to be open and receptive to it all taking place. When we can find our rootedness in these situations, we stay more balanced. We stay more centered. But while this pulling is taking place, it's the information inside of it that's being brought to us. How do we receive this information, receive this knowledge that's trying to be passed to us, while all of these tension points are trying to pull us in all different types of directions? Patience. It's patience. Because typically what's taking place, if there is a good pull within your life that's beginning to transform inside of yourself, typically you're going to have the opposer, the evil, the devil, the wickedness, trying to pull you in another direction so that you can't stay rooted. You can't move with what is meant to be moved with. So that's the discernment, right? You have to be able to acknowledge what is being pulled. Why is this being pulled? What is this pulling information trying to provide to me? Because even the works of the evil one still holds information, still holds knowledge for us. It's there. It's meant to take place. Otherwise, God would not allow it to take place. It wouldn't fruition in our lives. So we have to be open to receive from the evil, but be able to transmute it, to alchemize it, to magically remove what is not meant to be. Practice and patience. Practice and patience. That's how we'll get there. That's how all of us will get there. These realms of not being able to see things has been so veiled to us. Our eyes have been so closed to it that it's like an infant remembering how to walk and run and do all of those things over and over and over again. So it's allowing this veil to be lifted from us, but as it's being lifted, we soon are able to control the veils lifting. How much do we want to go? How much do we want to rip off? Because once you start to understand that you have the ability to control this veil of this unseen realm that is taking around you, there's times that you may lift it too high, and that information that starts flowing in, it's like a wave coming in the ocean. Sometimes you think you can stand there and take the blast of it, but there's sometimes those waves come in that are unexpectedly powerful, and you step back 1-2 steps to then root yourself again. Well, that's the same thing with the spirit. Sometimes you take in too much spirit, and you take those steps back, because then you think about the people that really went into that spiritual world without even knowing that those waters will actually sweep you under, that you'll get an undertow inside the spirit. And then you're fighting for yourself to come up above the water to be able to even just survive. And that's where we lose a lot of souls. We lose a lot of individuals that get swept by those undercurrents and not being able to ever come back to the surface again. They're misplaced, and we have to send love to them, because they're in those deep waters right now, and those individuals are searching even harder for the lampstands that we are meant to be providing to them. But as I tangent off and I digress, it's you have control of that veil. So it's on you to decide, hey, I want to lift this thing up just a little bit today. Just a little bit more today. And that's just like, you know what? Like, I think I have a good comprehension, a good understanding to what I just lifted. Let's lift it a little bit more than what I was usually doing. And then you get to see what happens then. See what I'm talking about with the pull and the tensions and all of that? What are you doing with this veil? You're pulling it up. All of these tension points are always around us. They're always there. We all have to start making the decision of being responsible of these pullings. Because it's your pulling. It's not anybody else's. It's your pull. What is this pull doing to you? That's what we have to do. We have to take the accountability and the responsibility of these pullings that are taking place within our lives. When we start to do that, those pullings, guess what they are? They're strings, right? You get to strum your own music, whatever chords you want that to be. Could be a piano, could be a violin, could be a guitar, could be a bass, could be a harp. They're all strings, and there's many others that are strings. But you then get to play your own music because you're understanding that the pulls come from strings, which then create a vibration to then start creating music, which is the harmonics of our lives. We all have different harmonies. You resonate different from me, and the other people that are listening to this video, we all resonate differently. All of us. But when we can resonate at the frequency that we are meant to be desired at, that is when we find bliss within the collective, within the human conscious, within the human race. But it's the poles that we have to acknowledge. It's the poles that we have to understand. And the more that we sense them and become a part of them, freedom will then start to be that much more readily available to all of us. Be a part of the poles. Acknowledge them. They're here to help. That's the reason why God is sending them. Root yourself. Then start playing those chords. The heavenly music that God wants you to be playing for all of us. Every single one of us wants to hear your harmonics. We want to hear your heavenly music. We all do. Start playing it. And I can't wait to hear it. Enjoy yourself. Love yourself. Most of all, be a part of yourself. We're getting closer. Just keep building faith.